name is Elle Crit. Welcome back, critics, to my channel. If you're new here, I so appreciate you clicking on this video. I am a dance professional where we talk all things dance related and sometimes sidebars. So today, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 dance movies from a dance professional perspective. If you've watched my videos before, you will know that I could not afford dance classes growing up. So I basically depended on dance movies because there was no YouTube, baby. No, I'm not that old. But YouTube didn't come out until like my freshman year of high school. I'm 30. So dance movies were basically the way where I would sort of practice different dance moves and different dance styles. If you are interested in watching this video or you like this video, please leave me a like and a comment with your favorite dance movies. Let's get into it. Top dance movie, and this is in no particular order of preference, but my favorite dance movie is Center Stage. And Center Stage was just one of those movies that are highly unappreciated in the whole scheme of like 90s, early 2000s movies, but also it's just, it avoids a lot of common tropes in dance films, like the we come from two different worlds and I bring our dance styles together sort of trope. It also avoids the typical ballerina trope. So Center Stage is a film about a dancer trying to get into this sort of film's version of the American Ballet Company, called ABT. And she's a beautiful dancer, but there are so many sort of technical or technique oriented things that doesn't make her traditionally great ballerina, but she gets in anyways. And it has Zoe Saldana. Need I say more? Even though she's problematic for the Black community, but we'll get there. Center Stage follows her journey, trying to figure out where she fits in this ballet company and how she can use her sort of weaknesses, for lack of a better term, to her advantage, and sort of resisting some of those typical ballet aesthetics. So just really great music, really great choreography. Some of the shots cinematically don't make sense, but all the people are really well developed in this film. There's character arcs. There is a clear message about what are the different issues that professional ballet dancers run into in the society and world of ballet. So definitely a top one. Movie number 2. Other favorite dance film to watch as a kid was definitely Flashdance, your quintessential 80s film. Music on point, dancer on point, story, nah, like the story's sort of weak. We have the story of going to Juilliard, and when I was a kid, I knew about Juilliard, but I didn't know you could go to college and all that. And if you want a story about me going to college to major in dance, please let me know. She's also a really young person. She is probably 19 or 20. She lives on her own. We don't get a lot of backstory, or there's not a lot of time spent on her story on how she came to live on her own. But she is like this super tomboy girl that I'm not that type of girl, archetype that really came out of the 80s in opposition to juxtapose the traditional girly girl. And so she works at like a welding place, and she meets her boss, and they develop a relationship, and dance becomes the vessel in which she gets to play out other sides of her expression. So as a young girl, I really found her sexiness alluring. It was like that woman I wanted to be. She was so confident, and I as a kid identified with that I'm not that girl type girl. Is that toxic? I don't know. But I really saw a lot of myself in her, and she had curly hair, so I was like sort of here for it. Movie, highly recommend. Movie number 3, the third dance film that I really enjoyed watching growing up as a kid was House Party. House Party may not be considered a traditional dance film or dance movie, but it's got dancing all up and through it. And I would rewind the VHS, my age, I would rewind the VHS to the same parts, and I would play it over and over and over and over and over again to learn the choreography to each scene. So, so even though we've had ballet with Center Stage and we've had sort of some contemporary dance with Flashdance, this is straight hip hop. It is social dance of the 80s. And again, even though the movie was made in the 90s, the time is set in the 80s, I believe. Anyways, it follows two best friends who are looking to really set off their weekend with a house party. They run into a whole bunch of shenanigans that keep them from either enjoying the house party or from keeping the house party from completely falling apart. And as they try to troubleshoot all of the many things that could possibly go wrong, the best part of this movie is the music and the dancing. You've got some iconic Black actors all through this movie, and maybe this was one of their like first major films. So yeah, House Party is where it's at. Movie number 4. Movie number 4 is, to me, okay, the quintessential like dance movie. We come from two different worlds, put them together, but maybe it started the trend, and this movie would be Save the Last Dance. I know they'll come for me because I have seen the TikTok. I've seen the TikToks of people showing how easy it is to do her routine. But again, it just made it accessible for me as a kid. I would replay those scenes over and over, both the ballet scenes and the sort of contemporary scenes where she's trying to combine her hip hop and whatever with her ballet. And also just as a biracial girl, I thought it was interesting to see the romance between the main character, who is a white woman, and the assistant character, who is a Black man, play out in this urban setting. Because I identified with that just as a biracial woman, having a parent whose mom is white and whose dad is Black, but also the urban setting, also the fact that my mom, who is white, grew up in an urban setting. She didn't grow up in a typical, I hate to say typical, but what might be stereotyped as the suburban white experience. My mom didn't have that. So she grew up in Black schools, in Black neighborhoods. And so I really closely identified with that. But also just the dancing part, she, loses her mother in a tragic accident, goes to live with her father in urban city of, I'm assuming Chicago, some sort of place like that, or St. Louis. And she, through this sort of low income, different socioeconomic status school, because her father is a jazz musician and my dad also did jazz, but not in his adulthood. So there's another connection there. Finds a reinvigorated love for dance through just the street life, but also just through her partner, who positively impacts her or influences her to go back to dance and apply for, again, what? Juilliard. Do we see a trend here? No wonder I didn't know you couldn't go to college for dance, because it seemed like you had to go to these private conservatories or these big dance schools or companies to do it. So yeah, that was movie number 4. Last but not least whatsoever, movie number 5, Take the Lead, is one of my other. Take the Lead is a movie that I will constantly go back to, and I may have to add a bonus one onto this video. But Take the Lead follows a Latin ballroom dancer played by Antonio Banderas. Honey, talk about who had a crush, because he played in Zorro. Yes, ma'am. So Antonio Banderas plays a ballroom teacher who comes across a kid getting into some trouble, and he finds out what school he goes to, and quickly observes the need in this school for an alternative experience. And again, it is another common trope about the low socioeconomic kids who know how to dance. They may be poor, but they can dance. I don't know what stereotype that perpetuates, because we know that slaves were often forced to dance, and Black people also known for being dancers, and we know minstrel shows perpetuate those stereotypes even further. So I don't know how much of a role this plays, but it's another just trope in dance cinema. He comes in, at least it's not a white savior situation. I don't know if he counts, because Antonio Banderas clearly plays a Latin person, a Latin man in this film, as well as being of Latin descent of himself. So do with that what you may. So he comes in, he offers to teach dance classes to the kids, and the principal, not having much faith in him, gives him the after school detention kids, and basically uses it as a device to discourage kids from acting up in school, because of course no one would want to dance. Anyways, so he quickly has to also be challenged to come out of his socioeconomic status and his perceptions to assist these kids and giving them a better way and a better outlet and something constructive and something to work towards. And it just tells a story of these kids' lives and how challenging it is, but how dance, though seemingly worthless in the education system, which I know the feeling. Again, if you want me to do a video majoring in dance, comment down below. Dim motion censored lights, changing up my exposure. So basically, those are my top 5. Love it. The dancing is good. The music is good. Most of these films have great character arcs, character development. Costumes are great. Those are like the main things that really qualify them. And a bonus one that I like to reference are going to be Shall We Dance with Jennifer Lopez, and Stomp the Yard. Chef's kiss to all those dance movies. I haven't seen a dance movie come out recently. They fell really out of popularity in the mid-2000s, and it's really hard to find them outside of musicals. So, you know, should one come out? I think the last one I saw was Black Swan, and it sort of doubles as both a thriller, psychological thriller, as well as a dance film. So if you like me to do individual reviews of each of these dance films where we deep dive into the tropes, concepts, and accurate or inaccurate portrayals of dance, either in the education system or through actual dance companies, please comment in the chat down below and let me know what your favorite dance films are of all time. Otherwise, I'll see you later, critics, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Don't forget to check me out on all social media websites at BIIG_crit22 on Facebook at LCrit, or subscribe to my website. See you later, critics. Bye-bye. Hello, YouTube.